What's going on, everybody? It's CryptoVision here, back again with another Monday's edition. Today's video, subscriber request, we're going to go over Dogecoin. So if you like today's video, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and leave a comment where you're tuning in from. I really appreciate it. So we got Doge here on the weekly, very similar to ADA. I just covered ADA, and it's looking like a complex structure for a correction. Overall, right? Overall, you're still in a, you know, it looks like you're like in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you come down. So it looks like you're gonna have a 1, you have a 2, come up for a 1, 2, 3, you have a 3. Um, right, your 3, it could really be like your 1, it could be like 3, 4, 5, because it's on the weekly with these wicks down through here, like that. So you could have a 2, your 3, okay? This to me looks like a corrective, your A, B, C, three-wave move. Right, your three-wave move in the likes of, right, if you come down, so you have like your 1, 2, but you close down below through here, so that's invalidated. Okay, so then you come up through here. It looks like you're doing something great, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, come down for a 4 and a 5. Okay, but then you come down here, take out these lows. So this whole thing is invalidated, right? Because you closed. I'm pretty lenient on crypto as far as wicks go, right? Wicks, you can be pretty lenient. At least that's my philosophy, right? The fact that you came down here and closed down below here, this whole thing is invalidated. So this looks like your A, right? So you have like a 1, 2. You have like your 3, 4, 5. Okay, you kind of chop around, and so that's your A. You have your B. You have a C. Okay, A, B, C. You've taken out the lows, right? You've taken out the lows, especially with the wick on. I don't even know how low this got, but I'm assuming it came down through here on Binance, right? In terms of crossing on the RSIs, or sorry, the EMAs, this came down through and did cross slightly down below these, down below the 100, and it marked the low. So there's mixed signals, right? ADA is about to cross down below, and it tanked. This crossed down below the 100, and it really marked the low, right? Coming down through, marked the low. So mixed signals across different altcoins I think is a good indicator, right? There's not a set, oh, they all look like they're ready to go. They all look primed to go. I think it's going to be almost like a fireworks show. Like you're going to have a couple pop off here, a couple pop off there. You're going to have some big fireworks, some smaller fireworks, but it's going to be layered, right? It's not just going to be everything at once. I think it's going to be layered. I think Doge will be one of the first ones. It did it in November. I think it'll do it again. So since we have that in mind, we're expecting a fifth wave. You need a 1, 2 setup of your fifth wave. Then you need a third wave, right? And in your third wave, you gotta have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever. You gotta come down again, and then you gotta get up for your fifth wave of the fifth wave. Let's go ahead and see, where Doge went according to this first setup, right? This first setup. Third wave wicked all the way up to that 2618. Very strong. Very strong third wave, wicked up to that 2618. So that's good overall, right? You tried to get up to that 3414, just couldn't, but still closed above the 2618. In terms of a correction, right? In terms of an overall correction, corrected down below, right on the 786, right? That's healthy. That's a deep correction, but it's healthy that you found some life down through there. So that was a nice correction, right? And then once you got above that 382, that 16 cents, right? You closed above that. That was fireworks, right? So that 382 is really big on closing above and getting above. Okay, so from this low to this high, right? From this low to this high. Right, that 382 now is I know it's crazy to think it's at 33 cents. Okay, that's like the main gatekeeper, right? That's main gatekeeper of what we need to, get above. I need to make sure these are on the daily as well. Perfect. Boom. Boom. Perfect. You've come down below the 786, so a deeper retracement of your fourth wave. Fourth waves are notorious for being brutal, miserable, fills you with doubt, fills you with uncertainty, because everyone, right, and grandma saw crypto do this. So everyone is like, I want to be in crypto now. So they buy up here and then they get wrecked and they think it's coming back up, and they either they don't sell, or they, crypto, the market makers get another batch through here and then they don't take any profits. So then they're getting wrecked, or people are using leverage and they get wrecked. And they do it all the way down, right? Oh, no, it's not going to bounce. Okay, we're back. No, we're not. Right, just a B wave. So the fourth wave is notorious for, shaking out a lot of people who bought through here, right? Expecting because they saw this, right? They're trying. It's a war of attrition, right? I had someone comment on one of the video that I point out, my most important video. If you haven't checked that out, check that video out. I think it's great. Got a lot of great feedback from it. I kind of go over the macro of why I'm bullish on crypto. It's not just the charts, right? People who just read charts, I think they miss the forest for the trees. It's you're so focused on what is going on the day-to-day, on the weekly, what a candle looks like, what the structure looks like, but what is actually going on in the macro? What is the economy doing? What is the structure of risk on assets? Are risk on assets frowned upon? Are risk on assets looked upon as a better investment than cash, right? Because if inflation is going up, cash now becomes a risk asset. It becomes, because you're going to lose money. And so you have to take that money and put it somewhere where you're going to beat inflation, right? When you got $1 billion and you're losing money, and your money isn't doing anything, and your inflation is going up, that $1 billion sitting, in a CD for 6% isn't doing anything, right? So you need to put it somewhere. You need to put it in, risk on assets. So stock market, precious metals. I mean, they're the least risk on. They're great for stability, or crypto, right? Or crypto, the new age, the debit card of the 80s and 90s, right? No one imagined, right, that nowadays 90% of people don't have cash on them, right? Cash was king back then. Now cash is not so much more of a king, right? I think the digital age, the age of the one world order, the world government, right? Everyone is connected, everyone this, everyone that, blah blah blah. I think they're pushing for that. I think they're pushing for the ability to use one set of a set of denomination, whatever the dollar, whatever it is linked to, across the world, right? And so that's what I think crypto will be. And so, in terms of, let's get back to the charts, right? I can go on tangents forever and keep talking about that stuff. But in terms of, those are two key areas that we need to get above. Okay, I know there's some separation between there, but this 33 cent mark is huge. Very, very, very important. Okay, in terms of from a low to high on this B wave, right? I kind of want to check this out. Wow, that 23.9. We're going to move this up slightly. Boom, 23.9. I like confluence, right, on multiple. I mean, that was, 0.6 off. I think that's pretty pretty reasonable. That 618 is at 19.8 cents. I think that's a very key area. And then let's go ahead and measure, right? We got to take a bunch of measurements. This is the boring part for some. I'm sorry, but let's take a measurement. Oh my gosh, my mouse sometimes. Sorry about that. From this low to high, 3 cents. I don't think that's it, right? It's just this correction is so deep. 3 cents coming down to 3 cents, right? I don't think that's gonna happen. No. I don't believe so. So we're gonna do this instead, right? We're gonna take this 1-2 setup and see where we got down through here on this retracement. Bouncing off the 1886, you came to the 2, which is a full retracement of the 1-2. Okay, so that's nice. 10 cents. Do I want to put down through here 10 cents? 14? I think that could be your low, right? I think that could be your low. But let's keep working, right? Let's keep working. Let's keep finding out, you know, what I'm gonna use this wick on my ADA chart. I did not use this wick just because it was on Binance, right? And it was kind of a scam wick, right? From this low to this high, right? From this third wave. You know, this 11 cent, this 10.12, this 11 cent mark. 11.8. I like this. And then the 10.12 I do like. Boom, boom. Something like that right there. And I do believe there's going to be one that's closer. I really do. The 618, right? I'm getting a little bit, getting confluence of multiple measurements and reads. Okay, so let's do this right through here. I know I'm going to find one closer. There we go, 13. We're going to do 13. We're going to move that 10 cent up, right? We're going to do this up slightly right through there. I kind of want to add that 12, but that 11.8. Let's see what matches through here on this side. I like this. I like that. I'm trying to find out whether I like this bottom, this 10.6 level. I'm not sure I like this 10.6 level because it's not confluent with most. I kind of like it up through here, right there. Right, I can see multiple areas of interest, especially through here, right? This bounce, this rejection. That's, yeah, I like that right there. So those are some lower levels, right? So the way this channel works is, right, I've got to add something through here. Whoa, this 382 is down through here now. I like that right there. Okay. So boom, boom, boom. I can add one more because it is kind of a larger level of retracement, right? And we're gonna go yellow. Okay, cool. So the way the channel works, right? Just in case you're new to the channel, right? So I work with levels, right? Levels of areas of interest. I'll go to levels of the upside, right? And so since you're kind of in the middle of no man's land, if I'm being honest, kind of in the middle of no man's land. First target is 17.6. Right, so if you can get above 17.6, right? I know these two are close together, so that's actually pretty good, right? It is going to offer like some double resistance, but if you can get up through here, you know, build a 1-2, come back down, that'd be very nice. That'd look good. You come back through here, and you kind of have a, you know, you get a higher low, right? You want a higher low, right? Higher low, okay? So that's stage one, right? You need a 1-2, okay? And then after that, then you can start attacking this 23.9, right? 23.9, and then 32. Okay, that's what you can start attacking. To the downside, right? There's always upside and a downside, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, right? These are just my ideas and my levels. Right now, you're like when I say you're in no man's land, you're just right in the middle. You're in the middle, right? You're not really right, down through here. Could have been an opportunity that presented itself, but so you got to either pick one or two. Okay, if you come down through here like this, right, you're looking to bounce. Or if you fall through, then you're targeting this 11 to 11.2 or 11.1, right? So, you know, more downside, right? What is this at right now? So it's either like another 10 to 20, 24%, right? Kind of a lot. And so overall, right, those are some levels I have to the downside. Those are levels of resistance that I have. But let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff and look at, you know, overall what I think crypto is about to do, right? So we'll take this low. I'm not going to take this low. I'm going to take this low through here. Yeah, right there. We're going to take that low. We're going to take this high. We're going to come down here. We're going to act like this is the low, right? This can always change, but we're going to act like that's the low, okay? This 382 level, right? 32.9, 30 cent. Does it correlate with much? It does not, right? This 382 does not. It does not. But I do like this through here, right? First target is 46 cents. This 1272 at 67 cents. The last, that 1-2 setup almost got up to that 3414. So I do want to put up through here, like 124, right? Possibly. And then, you know, this 1618, just for the third wave, right? Overall, right? If I'm thinking, you know, if you get 5 waves up, which I believe, right? 5 waves up is, you know, it's 5 waves up is, you get like a 1, 2, 3, 4. So another 4, right? Imagine this 4. Right? It's not going to be, as prevalent. It'll be something like this, something like this, right? Not as brutal, but still brutal, right? Still brutal. So you have like you have like your 1, 2, you have like your 3, 4, possibly, and then you come up for like a 5th or something. That's a possibility. I mean, unless it all depends on the third wave, right? If your third wave is extending up to 82 cents or whatever, yeah, I think you could target that $1.24. I think you could, right? I really do. Anything above that, if people, people are calling, I've seen people call for like a $3 Doge, a $4 Doge. I don't see it, right? I see the main target level is right through here. After everything is all said and done, right through here, 82 to 67 cents. That's moonshot is $1.24. Moonshot's $1.24, and even up through here is pretty pretty out there. So in terms of that's just price action, right? In terms of the RSI levels, the Fu Manchu. Let's take a look at what we got going on. So we got. Do we have lower lows? We do. Do we have a higher low? We do. Possibly. We have a higher low. We have confluence of a bounce, right? Look at all these areas, right? You bounced right here. You bounced right here. You kind of bounced, but you bounced through here, right? You did. You bounced. You still bounced. You still bounced, right? So you're looking for a retracement regardless, right? Looking for a retracement. Is the retracement sustained? That's the biggest question, right? That's the hardest question to answer, right? These levels, right? You come up through here. You come up to this 32 cent, right? You do something like this where, you come up and then you're like grinding up or something, and then you come up and reject this area. That's I think that's harder than where we're at right now. This is harder because if you reject up here, then you're looking at like an A, B, C, something like that. All right, this could still all just be an A wave. You come up for a B, and then you come down for a C even deeper, and you take out everything, and you're in some kind of prolonged bear market or just a funky market, just like an unpredictable market where the cycles no longer align, right? People can't just time the cycles like old school, right? Like old days. Let me throw on a trend line. This is going to be pretty steep. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. I think I can capture more through right here, like that. Yeah, I like that. I do. In terms of where you're at previous areas where you bounced before. Like a lot of the Doge looks. I just did ADA, and Doge looks more ready to move than ADA, right? I mean, you're at areas where you bounced, right? I mean, it wasn't a huge bounce. But it's set up. It set this up, right? It set that up. So the next couple months you were going up, right? You changed the trend, right? The next couple months you were going up, change the trend, right? Compared to down, right? So you got to change the trend, right? You got to do something like that. It's not going to be instantaneous, right? It's not just going to be up only, right? You got to have a setup to change the trend, right? And so, you bounced, you definitely bounced, and you bounced. Hopefully, hopefully. In terms of the daily chart, oh, I like that. I like where this is. Wow, I do. You got a green dot on the Fu Manchu on the daily has been pretty. It's been pretty lackluster, if I'm being honest. It's been there's been some room for desire on that. You did cross above the moving average. Does it mean anything? Not really. If I'm just being honest, it really doesn't. Until you can get some sustained movement above the trend line or above the the moving average, it's not something that I'm too concerned about. You're right at this level of. You're right at this sell side wall. I mean, you're right there. So like I said, like this week is going to be huge. It's going to be very important. It's going to be big, I think. Either way, right? So you're down below all your EMAs already on the daily. What about the 2-day? 2-day looks bullish. That's a bullish candle. So far, right? You got 6 hours left, but that's a bullish candle. Nothing, no pressure to the downside. It kind of looks like this, right? Kind of have something, boom, boom, and you just start going, right? So that's what I got for Dogecoin. You know, I got targets to the upside, right? Targets to the upside, right? Areas of resistance, areas of interest, right? Areas of interest that we see how we interact, and then, you know, targets to the downside. Okay. The last time that, you know, where did this cross down below this 100 on the, where is it? It hasn't even crossed below on the 2-day on this chart. So I don't know how the interaction will be. So yeah, there's some bearish signals. There's some bullish signals. The market right now is kind of tricky. It's kind of in no man's land. And so there's some invalidation levels there for you. There's some levels to the upside, you know, and some, you know, projections. And so, as always, if you like the video, please like it. Please subscribe. Right, it helps out the channel a ton, and it's free for you. And so, I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you got something out of it. You know, as always, thank you for stopping by. Take it easy. Peace.